Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Thank you once again for joining us on the Pure Digital Passion podcast with Moses Kemibaro. And today, my guest is Jaime Pinto from Software Group, an exciting organization that's providing a range of technology driven financial solutions to the global industry. But more specifically, Jaime is representing his activities within the African continent. Welcome, Jaime, to the podcast.
Hi, Moses. Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. In fact,
Thank you.
happy to be here.
Awesome. So maybe let's start off a little bit about yourself, Jamie. I think you've been working predominantly in other parts of Africa. Now you have a mandate across Africa. But tell us a little bit more about your professional and personal background and how you got here.
Thanks. It could be a long story, but I will try to make it short. But it's interesting to understand from where it started. I'm born in France. From Portuguese parents, so I have the double nationality, French and Portuguese. It explains
Wow.
since beginning why I like and I speak different languages. So I speak French, of course, because I'm born there. I speak Portuguese. I learned it at home with my parents, and at school I learned Spanish because it was easy speaking Portuguese to learn Spanish, and English, of course, there was a mandatory language at school. But I also like so much diversity and multicultures that I lived also in Italy, where I learned Italian during my studies. So from beginning, it's why I wanted to explain that this multicultural aspect, the openness, mind opening to other cultures is in me, in my DNA. So I think it's a good point to state when it comes to my professional career and why I am here today. I did studies in engineering,
Okay.
quite precise things into microelectronics, so very, let's say, focused, precise, detailed expertise engineering. I started working for companies like today they are still there, NXP. It was at that time it was particular because I started my engineering career in a company that was named VLSI Technology, an American-based company. Some 1 year or 2 years after I started, it became Philips Semiconductors, and then 2 or 3 years after it became NXP, and then ST Ericsson. So without moving chair at that time, I could enjoy being part of 3 to 4 different companies. And so again, in addition to the multicultural aspect,
Yeah.
there is also, I think, this multi-company styles that I've been through that are part of my DNA. After this engineering experience, so my management liked me, let's say, and they proposed me to get more managerial and strategic, let's say, positions, and they participated to an MBA program. So I did a full-time MBA in France in a good reputed business school. After this MBA, I was supposed to come back to the company to assume some more responsibilities, and but you may know there is such vibes and such auras, people that are participating to such schools and programs that makes you believe that everything is possible. And so during this course, this MBA journey, I prepared, I worked with some teammates on creating a company, and we launched a startup in France that was already a bit in advance on its time. It was in 2006, 2007, into mobile, into apps to allow people
Nice.
to consume content and so on. And yes, it was very nice, very innovative. At that time, iPhone was not there.
Okay,
So
it was early days, huh? Yeah.
yes, very just before all this. So it was quite complex and innovative to think about people opening their feature phone at that time. Smartphone was not existing, and being able to click on an icon with a logo of a brand to open an app and to enjoy content. It was quite really innovative. I remember being in Paris and other headquarters of big companies like Coca-Cola or big shopping mall companies, and it was the first time for them to see on their phones their logo and their content. So it was very impressive for them and very innovative at that time. It was a nice journey. So entrepreneurship is very exciting. Be part of such innovation times. It's an incredible experience, I would say. We sold the company. We became the branch, the mobile development branch of a bigger consulting firm in France. And then with my wife, we wanted to travel a little bit, let's say. Again, I think it's interesting because it shows the multicultural aspect that is part of me. And we went living to Thailand during some time, and then to India. It was supposed to be a 6 months, 1 year maximum journey, and at the end, it became a 3 years.
So you're an adventurous person.
Yeah. So maybe it's the Portuguese part of myself, that likes to discover the world and is curious about other cultures and so on. So I enjoyed really this experience also. It's different cultures, really different compared to Europe, compared to Africa. And at that time, I was still into entrepreneurship. We set a company with a friend in India to do some outsourcing developments in e-commerce, in mobile solutions. And it's from there, from India, that I started really working for Africa, for deploying solutions in Africa to allow the mass market, the people, really everyone, to access content over the internet, over the featured phones also at that time.
Yes.
We were deploying Facebook USSD. I don't know if you remember that, but
oh, that's a long time ago. I remember.
Yes. So USSD is still very popular and very to the point in a lot of countries around the globe, and in particular in Africa, to allow everyone to access services. And so I enjoyed discovering that and deploying and helping people access content at that time already. It was in 2012, 13.
Okay.
And then because my family is also in Africa. My wife, she's from Morocco.
Okay.
And so we decided to come back to Morocco. I joined a big company at that time, was named Morpho, a French-based company that merged since then with Ouverture Cards to become IDEMIA. So I was in charge at IDEMIA for the African region to deploy to banks and telecom operators the solutions, payment solutions. So basically, the main one was the cards, and for the telecom operators, all the technology around the SIM cards to enable the access and to enable services.
This is the SIM toolkits and that sort of thing.
Yes, exactly. So this helped me to discover even more Africa, really all the countries, all the stakeholders, let's say. So the banks, the group of banks, the telecom operators that are there, all the ecosystem that is there. It was very fruitful and interesting. And then I got the chance also to move again to another company into payments called VPC.
Okay.
And to deploy and to serve clients with payment switch solution, card management solutions, and all the payment, electronic payment platform solutions. And then I got the chance really to meet and start working with an incredible company that is Software Group. I have been approached by a consult recruiter, and I could discover the incredible company it is. We have a tagline at Software Group: we are a company with a heart. And in fact, the human aspect is very important in the company, and it's in line with what we want to achieve in Africa in particular. So I joined Software Group as the business development director for West Africa. I integrated also, thanks to my language skills, about the French-speaking countries and the Portuguese-speaking countries. So I covered West Africa, like Ghana, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Liberia, but also all the French-speaking countries across Africa and Portuguese countries in Africa. And from there, I joined 2 years back, more or less. And recently, in fact, I got promoted thanks to the trust my management have in me to the role of Chief Commercial Officer for Africa. And so today, I am enjoying my journey, taking more responsibilities, addressing overall Africa, not only West Africa and French and Portuguese countries, but also East Central Africa up to, so I cover from the corner in Morocco to the South Africa region, and from Senegal to the Egypt and so on.
That sounds like
I hope it was not too long, this
no, no,
introduction.
no.
Sorry.
I think when I hear
But
your story, I hear
yeah.
many things. I hear many things, and I
Mhm.
hear your story, which I think are so relevant to where you are today. One is this multilingual, multicultural background.
Yeah.
Clearly, it gives you so many perspectives. The fact that you lived in India and Thailand, so you went into what is more of an emerging market. So I'm sure that helped you appreciate some of the challenges that people in those markets see around uptake of technology, financial solutions, access to content, because you came from a content development background and content platforms for mobile. And then I love the way somehow you again through your family connection end up in Morocco in Africa, and it sort of gets you in the payment space, and then that now brings you into software group, which largely works with financial services providers. So I love the way all of those moments and those situations bring you to where you are here today.
Yeah. In fact, it's why I wanted to start from the beginning, because it makes me, and the alignment, I would say, with software group core vision, mission to address Africa and the world with enabling the financial inclusion. So it's and this multicultural aspect, as you just pinpointed, is really important,
Absolutely.
because each countries have their own specifics, and it's important to understand and have the patience to hear and discover and fit into it.
So maybe now we can talk a little bit about the software group, right? What is
Yeah.
this company? What does it do? What does it bring to the market? And more importantly, when we look at Africa, and of course for me, East Africa, how does software group play in this space?
Mhm. Yeah. So software group, it's also interesting here because it started really in Africa. It started where you are based today, in Kenya. In the early 2009, so almost 13 years back. Um, our co-founders were based in Kenya and started their journey uh, this ecosystem, as you know, the M-Pesa ecosystem, the booming of the start of all this electronic money and all the services. And they quickly saw that there was huge potential, huge opportunity to support all this with the right technology. And so the venture started there. One of the co-founders is also Bulgarian, and so the company is today headquartered in Bulgaria. The office is in Africa and Bulgaria were created at the same time.
Wow. Okay.
And Africa is still today one of our main regions of operations. So as you may know, Software Group has offices in Africa, in Kenya, in Ghana, in Egypt, and we have people like me all across Africa to be really closer to our partners and clients. To explain what Software Group is and does, it's important to, and I like to share the fact that our vision and mission was in 2009 and still today is to help financial service providers to really be successful on their digital transformation, to extend their outreach and improve operational efficiency. Ultimately, what we are into is really helping and strengthening financial inclusion in the continent. And it's our vision and mission. Our vision is really the enabling financial inclusion. So it's why in our DNA, again, as a company, we have always integrated the fact that we need to enable this financial inclusion. And so the platform we develop, the solutions we develop are really there to be able to be consumed and used by everyone. And in particular, the ones that are not yet in the financial ecosystem, not yet banked, that maybe doesn't have all the means and the knowledge to be part of the financial ecosystem. And so we have this in our core, and the products and services that we deploy are really into that. So we have, since 2009, as a company, we have deployed successfully hundreds of projects. In Africa, we have, I will share with you a rounded number, but around 60 plus clients.
Okay,
from
that's
East,
impressive.
West, Francophone. Yes, we have been quite successful, and again, I think this success comes from the fact that we care about the people. As I told you at the beginning, I shared the fact that we are a company with a heart, and it's true. So the human aspect is important, and inside the company, but also in our vision and in the way we want to serve the customers at the end. And this is part, I think, of the success also we are having. So to summarize, Software Group, we are technology company, global one. We are editors of solutions for digital banking and insurance solutions. We address clients and partners like banks, of course, microfinance institutions, and it's where we have been good also since beginning. We serve also telecom operators, fintechs, credit unions, saving groups. So we are really supporting and deploying solutions with all these industry stakeholders across Africa, across the globe. And again, Africa is one of our main markets, to answer your question.
Okay, great. And what is it that makes Software Group different from everyone else who's providing, this sort of financial enablement through technology solutions? And specifically, as you said, it sounds to me like there's a lot that you do.
Yeah, in fact, it's a good question. And when people ask me this question, I like not to tell myself what are our key value, our key points, but I prefer to let the market and our clients and partners speak for us. So I will mention the fact that we are really proud when we have our clients, partners that are getting awards and recognition when they launch our solutions, like it's public and you can see that quickly over the internet because they are really proud themselves about that. Fidelity Bank Ghana that gets awards for the agency banking solution as being the best agency banking bank of the year. It was last year. We have in Zambia, Access Bank Zambia, that got the EIB Innovation Award in 2020 for the wallet that we launched together. We have like that across the globe, the clients and partners that are getting awards, and this is the best recognition about what makes us different somehow. The solution we deploy with them, the awards they win are the proof that there is something here, and we are proud of that. In Africa, for example, we have also our client and partner, Bank Atlantic. We started the venture in Cameroon. They got some awards about the first health as being the #1 in health leadership in Cameroon.
Okay.
It's an award they got from the Ministry of Public Health last year. And we have like that many recognitions. Again, I prefer to answer with the fact that our clients are getting awards thanks to the solution we deploy. And of course, as a company, we also are recognized, and we are proud of that by our peers in the market and the industry. So we are getting awards and recognitions from the European Investment Bank. We are getting awards of fintech breakthrough award in this year. We got awards of Financial Inclusion Excellence Award in 2022. So these are the kind of recognitions we are proud of, and that we believe shows that we are bringing some value to the market, and we appreciate it. The industry leaders, like the analysts, the Celent, the Forrester, IBS Intelligence, are often publishing reports where we are announced as being the best providers for agency banking, or the ones with the best impact in terms of return on investments when deploying solutions. So we are proud of that. And again, I do prefer when someone like you ask me this question to announce these things, because it's not us telling that we are good at this and that. It's the market and our customers telling it.
Yeah, it's basically, when you reflect back, it's really what the impact you're having in the marketplace, as opposed to you
Yes.
saying we're fantastic. And I think that's amazing that all these organizations, and I think in the different sectors for different types of reasons, are actually winning awards, which is meaning that the solutions you're deploying are actually very, very good. Which brings me to my
Yes.
next point. I think one of the things we saw in the last 2.5 years was obviously the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. And I'm just curious to understand, and this is a question I've been asking a lot of my guests on this podcast recently. What did COVID do to the business? How has COVID transformed or changed your business and that of your clients? And especially given that you are operating in a very tech-driven space, I'd be very keen to understand that connection between the pandemic and, of course, digital transformation for yourselves as a business, but also for the clients that you serve.
Yeah, good question. And in fact, it had a quite huge impact. The pandemic changed the end customer demands and expectations. As you may know, people are asking for 24/7 digital access to financial services. And so this pandemic greatly accelerated the need for digital transformation. The leaders on the market, the studies are showing that, I have some numbers in mind, 80% of the leaders in this industry said that these are a huge impact on their process, and that accelerated really the need to digitalize all the operations, all the accesses, the front ends to the end customers, and internally also in their own organizations, because people were not able to come to the office sometimes, and the access to all the platforms, all the services got a need to be really digitalized, accessible remotely. So the COVID period, the pandemic period, had quite a impressive impact. To summarize, it accelerated really this digital transformation journey. Before COVID, people were having plans for doing step-by-step digital transformation things over the 4 to 5 years. The COVID accelerated all that to make it happen in 2 years. It's the main impact I will be able to share here with due to that.
Okay, wow. Okay, so definitely what you saw is that there's a much faster adoption. Maybe some of the clients were saying, let's wait, we'll do it later. Suddenly they had to do it immediately, right?
Exactly. And so for us, we are exactly into this, helping those entities to digitalize. And thanks to our technology, the approach we have, based on our platform, we are really able to accompany them quickly into this journey. I could not have the opportunity yet to explain also the platform aspect that is part of our strategy. At Software Group, when it comes to digital transformation, when it comes to banking platforms, we have really this platform approach to be able to address the digital banking and insurance businesses. We have pre-built solution.
Okay.
Taking care of agency, mobile wallets, loan origination, mobile factoring. that allows us to be very fast to the market. We have this possibility to support our partners and customers to go fast in maybe 3 to 6 months on the market with a first version. And our platform, based on the latest technologies, not go into much details technically, but it's all microservice oriented, API oriented. So we are very flexible. We can configure, activate, not activate some features and modules to start quickly. And then we are so flexible that we can increase the number of features and add them on the flow in an agile way. And at the same time, we are the editors of all our solutions. We are so able to customize if required this to adapt even more the solution to really fit the needs of our customers. So this platform approach is important, and it's why we are so good in addressing this need of digital transformation that got accelerated by the pandemic period.
So if I understand you correctly, when you're enabling things like agency banking or mobile services and mobile banking, what you do is your platform connects to existing or legacy banking platforms, and then you're creating these, mobilized or web-based interfaces that allow, consumers to easily then access financial services, right?
Exactly. In fact, we are preferred partners often to the other entities that are providing legacy systems, some hold, let's say, or core banking providers, and we bring this fresh energy and all the digital part that opens those core banking, those legacy systems, with all the new digital front ends. The mobile wallet we mentioned, the mobile banking, the agency banking, all this digitalization of the credit and loan originations. So we, in fact, we are here without replacing the legacy systems. We are able to expand the banks and the financial institutions ecosystems thanks to our platform. And in fact, today it's all about being open, being able to integrate, to enrich the solutions, connecting with other services and other platforms. And we are the ones that are enabling such things thanks to our platform.
Now, my next question, I see that we're running a bit short on time, but my next question to you would be, when you look at the African and even the East African perspective, software group, where do you see the business going in the next 2 to 5 years? What are some of the priority areas that you're going to be focusing on in the next 2 to 5 years, especially now with your new commercial role?
We have been through an incredible journey already, and we just scratched the surface. We just saw the top of the iceberg, and there is so much still so much opportunities to handle in Africa in particular. In fact, this financial inclusion it's today and still today an important aspect. We are enabling this with our partners, our clients, as I just mentioned, and we want more and more to do it also with at national levels, speaking with central banks, governments, and we have solutions. So we are deploying with them, proposing them to really have an immediate global impact in a country. So really deploying national level solutions or working with groups of banks having covering multiple territories. So it's our, let's say, our way to have an even better impact on the market, to address, to cooperate and deploy solutions with multi-country or national-wise entities. So this is one aspect of the answer. And as I told you, our journey was quite impressive already, and we want to continue this with a good pace and so continue driving this financial inclusion. Today, for example, I am in Cameroon speaking at some events related to microfinance. So we are still really into this financial inclusion aspects. We don't speak only to big banks or governments. We want also to still be on the ground with the ones that are really on a daily basis participating to the financial inclusion. So we continue what we have been doing until now to continue on this nice path and develop even more impactful national-wise, international-wise deployments.
If I hear you correctly, and this is interesting because you said something that's quite profound. You said the national, the microfinance. It almost sounds like what you're telling me then is, and I think the word you used earlier about software group is almost at the platform. So it almost sounds to me that, the future and where you're going is that you are now becoming more of an ecosystem that connects everything, that connects all the stakeholders in achieving this financial inclusion model. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, we can say that. Ecosystem, again, is part of the strategic things to take into consideration today. Our platform has a specific module, let's say, that is related to integration. We have an integration platform that allows us, thanks to our experience, to be really able to integrate with anything. Integrations with all the other third-party solutions, it's quite easy for us. We have capitalized on all our experience, all our projects deployed until now, to package that into some specific modules to really help this integration aspects. And yes, when you say merging, helping to connect everything, today and the future is about super apps where the customer at the end, thanks to all this integration in the background, will be able to consume different services from a single app. We are also, to speak about the future, thanks to our experience, we are also able, and again, thinking about the financial inclusion, to deploy our solutions with different business models also, like the agency banking. We are deploying it now as a service. So we are able to onboard multiple financial institutions, micro finance institutions, banks, into a platform at a lower cost, and to deploy it and serve the public with a solution as a service. So we are really, in fact, enabling the ecosystems, mutualizing things, connecting things. This is part of the platform strength and the future.
Fantastic. I feel like we're gonna need another conversation about just that aspect. I'm seeing a much bigger picture here about software group that I didn't realize before we started this conversation, but that'll be for another day. My last question to you is, maybe as we wrap up, do you have any last thoughts, any thoughts that you want to share with us and this audience about software group and the Africa agenda?
To summarize again, and last thought, as I said, we just scratched the surface, and there is so much we can do together. We like to help our customers and partners. I say always partners because they become partners. As I just told you, we are now speaking about win-win models where we have the solutions as a service. We have journeys with some clients and that become partners where we start with something, and thanks to the platform approach, we develop it, and we have now other things related to their operations, opening their ecosystems, enabling fintechs to be part of the ecosystem of a bank, for example. So the insights I will share is that Africa is booming. There are initiatives everywhere. We see fintechs raising funds, growing fast. A lot of focus is happening on the African market, and so there are many things to do. And we have this wish at Software Group to help the continent, to speak with all decision makers, to accompany them, share our expertise, bring our know-how, our technology to enable this financial inclusion, and we want to think big and have a real impact, helping all the continent to grow.
Great, thank you so much, Jamie, and I think that was a wonderful conversation. I look forward to doing this again. We really appreciate you and having you on our podcast, the Pure Digital Passion Podcast with Moses Kemibaro, and wish you all the best as the commercial manager or director for Africa at your organization, the Software Group.